Hey there, this is John Millen. I want to give you a really good tip. Never go searching for free advice. Never accept free advice. It's okay to get free proposals. It's okay to get free quotes. But if you want advice or you want strategic ideas or a new direction for something you're working on, the worst thing you can do is get it for free. And let me explain. A lot of people confuse getting strategic advice with getting a proposal. And I'm going to give you the context that I operate in, but it really applies to anything. And I'm going to give you an example. When I have something at home with my HVAC system that doesn't work, something goes off track. In the summertime, it gets hot. In the wintertime, it gets cold. Like, oh my God, something's off. What do? You check around some things and you realize, I have no idea what's going on. So what do? You call your favorite HVAC plumbing, HVAC person, not plumbing, HVAC. And what do they tell you? Oh, we'd be glad to come out, Mr. Miller, next Tuesday. There is an $89 service call. Like, what? I have to pay you to come sell me something or fix, for me to then spend more money with you and fix the issue? I don't think so. And so you hang up the phone. You call somebody else. You go, hey, I got something. I think there's something wrong with my HVAC. They go, no problem. We've got to have an appointment next Wednesday. It's going to be a $119 service call, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, what is going on? Why are people charging me just to come to my house for a proposal? So then you say, call someone else. And they go, we can come out this weekend. It's an extra emergency service fee because you've been cold in your house all winter. So it's going to be, $199 service fee. What is going on? That is the way the world works. You are paying for advice. You're not paying for a proposal, right? You're paying for someone to come fix a problem you have. This is what happens when people confuse getting advice from getting a proposal or a rate or some kind of thing. And let me give you the perfect example. Now that I think we all agree with that, right? Would you ever expect that plumbing company to just send somebody out and not pay them anything to come to your house and tell you, oh, your problem is that you're out of Freon? And you're like, oh, wow, thanks for the free advice. My buddy down the street does this on the side, so I appreciate your time. I'm going to have them do it. That plumbing company or HVAC or electrical company or whatever it is, I'm mixing them all up now, would be out of business. You get their free advice and then you go ask someone else to do it. If you own the HVAC company, would you ever do that? Eventually you'd be like, I'm getting burned all the time. We stop it. And that is normal now. So let me change the context. You have a health plan and you have 400 people on your health plan and you're spending $4 million a year. And so I get on the phone with you and I say, hey, I tell you a little bit about what we do. We're really good with certain things with health plan and how to address this issue of costs going up and coverage going down. There's some very strategic things that we're very good at. We don't know yet if there's overlap. Let's take about 15 minutes on the call, the first call, and just see if there's any overlap, then we can talk more. If not, no harm, no foul. So we start the discussion and we explain kind of the things we do. We educate people about how does the system work, which no one's ever told them. I didn't learn until later on in my career. I explain what drives their costs. People don't really say that. I say, okay, there's 6 ways of financing your healthcare and you're doing this one. Have you ever seen these other 5? They always say, I'm familiar with maybe 1 or 2, but what are those other 3? I'm like, okay, there are 6 strategies that you can use to address the cost of your healthcare program, whether you have 7 people on your plan or 7,000, right? These 6 apply in some cases to all those group sizes, sometimes not, but you have to have a conversation. What is your objective? Where is your pain? Do you have no heat? Can you not attract employees? Are your costs too high? Is the family rate too high so people bolt after they come in? What is the issue you're trying to solve? Do you have 3 plans for employees across the nation when maybe we should put them all under one umbrella? What is the pain you're having? How bad is the pain? How have you tried to fix the pain? And what is the ramification if you don't fix the pain? Let's just assume you take the increase. Next year, what's the big deal? I ask this question frequently on calls I have every week with CFOs, owners, presidents, and HR directors. And they're like, well, just take the increase. It's a 10% increase on $4 million. It's $400,000. You guys make a lot of money. What's the big deal? And you have to dig into the root cause of what's causing, or what the root cause is causing something else. What is that pain? And is it big enough to solve? When my heat goes out in my home in the winter, They come out that weekend because we're freezing. The pain is really high, and I'm willing to pay an extra service fee and extra time to have my heat turned on. If you have a health plan and you're having pain, whatever that looks like, what is that causing you? And is it worth fixing? And if you get to the point where you're like, it's worth fixing, now you need some strategic advice. You don't need proposals. And this is where in our industry, we ourselves as health insurance brokers have perpetuated this. And even all the carriers we work with, they do the same thing. So you're in an environment where the answer is, well, let me send you a quote. Let me bid you out. Let me get some rates. Let me get a proposal, right? I'm totally right, because that's what's happened. And even the carriers say that. You call a dental carrier rep and go, hey man, they're having this issue with with their dental plan, blah, blah, blah. And they go, okay, let me send you a proposal. That's not strategic advice. That's just throwing prices at me with features and benefits. That's not what people want. Some people do, but a lot of the times I'm on these calls and I say, why are you on the call? What is going on in your world that you voluntarily got on the phone with me and carved out time on your end, and I carved out time on my end to talk to you? What is going on? There's something triggering that caused you to voluntarily want to be on the phone with someone else other than your current advisor. And that's what's happening. And so the point is, on a recent call, I'll give you an example. $4 million spend, 400 people. I heard enough in about 7 minutes that I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can fix this. I don't know exactly how. Like, I don't have all the solutions in my toolbox. I don't know exactly. But what you're telling me, I'm fairly highly confident that I have a solution. There's 2 different things I'm thinking of right now that I think will definitely solve your problem immediately, but more importantly, long term. These are not silver bullet one-time things, like we're going to just do some cockamamie thing, right, to just save you money 1 year. Like, we're going to put you on cost plus, and your employees are going to hate it the first year, and you're going to save a bunch of money, and then the second year we're going to change you to something else. No, it's not the goal. The goal is to create this plan over multi-years, and very few companies I talk to, I'm like, what's your 3-year plan? Like, what are you talking about? I only have a 6-week plan until my plan renews, and I have no idea what we're doing after that. That is not a smart move if you're spending $4 million of hard-earned corporate profits, right? This is extra money coming out of the company to be used for compensation, non-cash compensation. That is not a smart thing to do. Would you do that with anything else? Hey, we're spending $4 million. We're not quite sure where it's going. You know, there's probably some ways we could reduce it, but you know what? I'm just going to get some rates, and I'm going to continue on my way, and we won't give our employees raises because all of our raised money is going to the healthcare insurance companies. Here's the scenario. I'm on a call. I get through it and I say this, I'm almost certain I've done this hundreds of times, and there is overlap. I know I can fix the problem. Whether you want it fixed or not is your issue, right? It's not my problem. I could care less. And I was basically saying this, like, look, I don't care. I'm not here to sell you anything. I could care less if you work with me. I know I have a solution, at least 2 of the 6 that you've not even looked at, or someone who's not presented it very well. And I know that I have a very high level of confidence that strategically we can address this issue. Does that mean that I know the exact tool in my toolbox? I know what wrench to pull out to fix the compressor on the air conditioning unit? Not yet. That's not what I said. I said I have strategic ideas, and what I want to do is do an analysis and show you. I'm fairly confident that there's at least $500,000 of waste, probably closer to $1 million. And I know this from experience. I don't say this as a Geico ad. I know from looking and hearing and seeing this scenario after doing it, hearing this hundreds of times, you get a rhythm and you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure this is what I think we would look at. Of the 6, we're going to do these 2. Let's do a deep dive though. I'm not going to overpromise anything, but let me do an analysis. Let me give you some strategic advice. We're not bidding your plans. I'm not your broker. You're not changing anything. We're just allowing a neutral party that is experienced in this issue you told me you want to fix, to come up with a strategic plan. And I said, I do these myself. I rely on a handful of my best vendor partnerships and my best strategic mentors So this is not just me in my own little world trying to figure things out. I'm leaning on people with 35 years experience in large group self-funding. I'm leaning on people with pharmacy management and specialty carve-out. I'm leaning on people with dialysis programs and disease management. Like, I have all these access tools that I lean on in this analysis. I go, hey, this is a situation. Let me send you some early data. Like, give us some strategic advice. So it's not just me, but I said, I manage this whole process. I don't farm this out to an intern. It takes me probably 8 to 10 hours. And I create a document, a cost and modeling analysis that is, 15 pages? There's essentially nothing in this document, and I kind of roll through it and show them a sample. It's not about me. There's nothing in there like how great we are. This is about your plan, where you are, how you compare, how do you benchmark. I do a benchmarking tool. What's your family affordability rate? What's your pharmacy spend? What can we carve out there? What strategy should we use for financing? You have 3 plans. Should we do 2 plans, 1 plan? So it's high level strategy. I say I do charge a fee for this. And on the call, and this sometimes happens, the person said, I've never had to pay a fee for this. And when she said this, I said, oh, yeah, I know. Right? I get it. Yeah. I'm sure you haven't, because you've never gotten anything like this. You got proposals, you got quotes and rates, and you sent an RFP, right? But of course you didn't pay for this because you've never asked for this. This is a strategic overview analysis that I'm going to hand you, and you can take this, and basically it's a neutral party, me, that has no vested interest in the answer, and you're paying me a fee. And by paying me a fee, you're reimbursing me for my time. And I said, I don't know. I'm not really expected to work for free. I have employees, and like, you guys don't work for free. Why would you want me to work for free? Well, I've never had to pay for this. Okay. Again, have you ever gotten anything like this? And the answer was no. Well, yeah, you're right. And I said, this is strategic, high level advice, just like you would do if you called in an accounting firm and said, hey, we want to do a forensic audit on our books. Can you do that? And they go, absolutely. Our fee is $25,000. What? I've never had to pay a fee for, you could get my business. We could be your business partner later, and you can make money. And I'm not going to pay a fee for that. Yeah. Good luck finding a forensic accountant to come in and do that. And that's what they do, right? That's what a consulting firm does. That's what a law firm does. That's what your plumber does, or your HVAC tech when they show up for $89. It's no different. But the problem is, in my industry, very few brokers do this. So when I experience that, most of the time, the answer is, yeah, I get it. I don't expect you to work for free. What's your fee? And I tell them, 1% of annual spend, or 0.5% of annual spend, or 1/10 of an annual spend, right? It's got to be reasonable. I don't want to, if they're spending $10 million, I'm not going to charge them $100,000. That's a little high. You're spending $4 million. I'm like, that's a $10,000 project, because there's lots of components, 3 plans, 40 states, all these different variations. Some companies it's $5,000, some companies it's $2,500, right? It really depends on the magnitude of what I'm looking at to say, this is going to take me this much time and I need these money resources. So it's not just some random number. I'm like, oh, you want to make some money, because it's reimbursing for my time. And I say this, look, I'm doing either the work myself, or I'm working in tandem with other people. This is not some like boilerplate. I go, punch the button, and then, oh, your name's on the top, and here you go. That's not what this is, because I even show people on the call, like, these are all the different components that I give you. And there's some really interesting things in there they've never seen, like family affordability percentages, PEPY, pharmacy spend, overspend, specialty carve-out savings. There's all kinds of stuff that you would get by getting an analysis, by getting strategic advice. And so the last piece that, so I'll leave it at that. So that, I would say, what I've learned before we started doing this a couple years ago is, I was told by a very successful person that said, never get advice for free. And what he meant was, and this is a very successful person that you would probably know. And he said, John, never take free advice, and not in the way of like, hey, what should I do, from a friend. It's not that. It's, I have this problem in my company and I need like subject matter expertise and you go to someone and you say to them, look, I want to pay you whatever you think is reasonable, let me know, to come in and analyze my situation and help me. Because here's what he said. If they're doing it for free, there's an ulterior motive. They're getting paid some other way, right? There's some other hook, some other way. They have to be compensated. People aren't going to just do this for free. There's always something underlying they're not saying. And so what he taught me was you would rather them charge you, because as soon as someone pays me for our advice, guess how good that report is? It's freaking amazing. Like, I go overboard. I'm like, I'm going to give them the best analysis for 10 grand or 15 grand or 5 grand they've ever seen. And because I'm obligated, like, you're paying me for advice, I'm going to give you back 10 times the value. And normally that's what happens on healthcare. If someone pays me a $10,000 fee one time, within 3 weeks we get the data and then we get it turned around a few weeks after that, usually it's a 10x return on that. So usually we're finding savings at minimum of 10 times the fee. Sometimes it's 20 times the fee, 30 times the fee. See, the idea is don't chop benefits, just show me some simple low-hanging fruit or some big things that, like, wait, you guys are way off here. And if you want to chop $1 million out and it's a little bit of a disruption for the employees, not massive. We're not trying to disrupt the company, but like, we changed the whole PBM structure and a specialty carve out, and all it is a number on the card. The employees won't know. You just hand them the card. Like, that's going to chop out huge money. And so you want to pay for advice. You don't want to get it for free, because if I'm providing you something for free, there's something else happening in my brain, unless I'm just naive as a salesperson and I'm brand new, which you will find. Like, I'll do anything for free. You will find plenty of that. But what you're going to find is an ulterior motive somewhere behind that, because eventually people can't work for free, and there's got to be a way that it's got to come back to them. You're always going to find someone that does this. My advice is don't ever take that kind of advice for free. Like, hey, what restaurant should I go to? I'll get that for free. But hey, I got a $4 million spend. It's going up 15% a year. I need some strategic advice. For that, I think it would be worth 5 or 10 grand to get some great advice. Hope this helps. If you want more information, millingroup.com.